Can't hear you, but you're recording. So she wants me to start today. That's cool. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our mastermind group. Small group this morning to start with. People usually come on a little bit later. Here we go. We're starting. Hi, Suze. So this morning, I had tried to post on the, the mastermind group that Annie created, and she's the admin, and nobody can post if you're not an admin. So I asked her if I could get to be on admin, and she was going to work on it, and it just never did happen. So then she posted what I was going to post up there, which is a blog post that I did this last week on habits. And so I'm going to share really quickly the screen to my web blog so you can see where habits are. If you go to my blog, randymartinson.com, you can find stuff. There's all sorts of stuff. And the recent posts are on the right-hand side over here. And so I just clicked on habits, and now I'm in habits. It was interesting because I listened to and followed cybernetics clear back in 1977. And that tape, it was a little cassette tape, was an audiobook, and I followed it all these years thinking developing habits is really only 21 days, because that's what he had said, a minimum of about 21 days. Then somebody asked me the question, how long does it take to form a habit? And I thought, you know what, I need to verify this. I need to go back and see really how long it takes, because there are some things that I did that took a lot longer to become a habit than just 21 days. So you can come back and read this article later. At least you know where it's at. So I did the research, and I found out that it takes anywhere from 18 days to a year to develop a habit, depending on that habit, whatever that behavior is. If you want to change a behavior, you've got to work at it a long period of time in order for it to become a habit. So I wrote this article. I've had 0 likes on it on Facebook. That's kind of interesting in the few days. I don't know if people even see it on Facebook, but it's there and takes you back to here. But the point is, we give up. People give up. It's just a natural part of human behavior. Life gets in the way. And, you know, I've written on the 20 habits of highly successful people. I've written about the 8 habits of happiness. Each one of those is uniquely different in developing it as a habit. So let's just take, for example, the habit of writing a journal, a gratitude journal. And how long does it take for that to become automatic, so that it becomes the same thing you do every single day, regardless of what happens in that day? That then is a habit. And habits are what the subconscious does for us and keeps us moving forward. And those good habits that we develop are the habits that are going to help us be successful. Of course, falling into bad habits are the things that are going to not make us successful. So how long does it take? I went back and I looked at my journal, and I looked at how many days when I did it consecutively in a row. And frankly, I don't do it every single day, but I do it on a daily basis, verbally, just not writing it in the journal. So I went back and I found out that it took me almost 8 months to get it to where I was doing it automatically every single day as a habit. So the point of this morning is, it takes as long as it takes to become a habit. It's not just 21 days. And if it hasn't become a habit in 21 days and you really want to develop the habit, don't give up. Just keep on working at it until it becomes a habit. So there's my thing for this morning. Any comments, questions, anything else anybody wants to share? So
I love it, Randy. Thank you. I'm excited to read the post that you did about that, because it's true. I mean, I find myself, I would get pretty good at my journaling when I got started with it back in 2015 when I started the Miracle Morning. And then, I've gone through phases where it just slips away. And I notice a difference when I'm doing it. So then I get back into it again. and I can get really good at it. And then, like you said, life happens or something happens and you get thrown off track a little bit. And then you think, oh, well, no. And you get back in that mindset of, and this is where time comes in. It's like, and it's, reading the novel that I talked about last week, the sections that I'm in, when it goes through periods like that, where you're just rushing, and you're not taking the time to live in the present moment, which is what you talk about a lot, enjoying the moment and taking care of yourself and doing these things that are like so important, because I know how much better I feel when I do it. And sometimes I think I set too high of expectations for myself. It's like, I'm not writing a novel when I journal, for gosh sakes. I'm just writing down my thoughts. Just do it. If it's 2 sentences today, it's 2 sentences. And I also find that if something has happened, excuse me, in the morning, and I can't seem to do it when I usually would, then I think, oh, I've blown it for today. But that's not true. Do it in the evening, or do it in the after, whatever, if you can just get it in there. And then I also give myself grace if I missed a couple of days or something. I journal about why, what was going on. So it just does make me feel good, and to know to keep going, because it does take, like you said, depending on what you're doing, longer than 21 days or 30 days, or it takes the time, and you need to be able to gift yourself the time to do that if it's something that's important to you. So thank you. Anybody else want to share about the habits?
I can find that habits, I could do things for about 2 weeks, and then I get waylaid off of it or something like that. And then I think, oh, I should get back to it, and then I don't. So it is very difficult to get a habit going. It really is.
Yes, it is.
It makes me laugh a little bit about habits, because if I think of some of the bad habits I have and how quickly I took them on and how long I've been doing them, I try to remind myself of that when I'm trying to create a positive habit. Is, I really think the flip side is kind of the the true test. So I just want to throw that out there. And I also heard a quote today, and I'll throw it out. It's like something about, I think it was Babe Ruth who said, a person cannot be beat who never gives up. So, I'm just not gonna, it's myself. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about myself. I cannot beat myself, if I don't give up. So back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz.
Hi, good morning. I have something to share about the perspective of habits. Is when I find myself wanting to develop, something new, and I've been working on the 2 a day and the follow-up habits for a long time, and with varied success here and there. But I'm reading this book, and it reminded me right now. I'm reading The Bottom of the Pool by Andy Andrews. And what kind of like flicked in my mind is the gist, I'm just like halfway through the book, but what hit me about that habit is I need to go deeper. And he talks about, his analogy of the bottom of the pool. Go deeper and remind myself of why I'm doing this, the benefit to myself and others for doing it, and look at it from that way, not just the superficial, I need to do this, but really to go back inside myself and discover the why. Because I know I really want to do it, and I really want to do it be consistent in other areas of my life, and I'm working on that too. One of the things I'm working on is financial well-being. I discovered Dave Ramsey. You guys have probably heard of him, but I recently discovered him, and I'm going through the baby steps. And right now, the baby step I'm imagining is becoming an everyday millionaire. And I'm going to be 69 years old in about, I don't even know, 10 days or something like that. oh no, maybe not even 10 days, maybe like 8 days. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't really have a chance to be an everyday millionaire starting at age 69. And then, I don't know, something clicked inside of me, and I made an appointment with a financial planner. And I got, kind of on the computer, and, with what I have saved and the markers that I've set for myself, I can actually do that. And my husband said to me, he goes, what do you, and I want to do it by the time I'm 86. And my husband goes, well, what if you don't make it by then? And I said, you know what? If I end up with like $700,000 or $800,000 by the time I'm 86 and I miss that $1 million mark, I'm going to be pretty happy with myself. So I think in developing habits, we can look back into, where we've come, why we're doing it, and that kind of serves as the fuel for keeping us going. And like Randy said, just not giving up, that it can happen and it can become a habit. So I'm offering that up today. Thank you so much. Nice to see everybody.
I love it, Barbara. That was great. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else have anything they want to make on the habits or share?
All good sharing today. Thank you for everything everybody said, because it's, we all feel it. We all know that it's something we want to do. And it goes like Barbara just said, it goes back to the why. Why do you want to do something? Why do you want to develop a habit? And if you can focus on the why and just keep remembering that and remind yourself, remember the slight edge, just takes pushing yourself and get there. So we can, just don't give up.
Awesome. Love it. All right, guys. Well, I think we've done really well. It's about 7:13, so I'm going to let us get on with our wonderful week. And what I was going to share, I'm going to share next week, because I think this topic was really cool, and I want to stick with the same thought process. So if you get a chance to check out Randy's blog on the habits, it's on the Mastermind Messenger thing, but it's also randymartinson.com. And
yes.
Okay, perfect. So do that. And I hope everybody has an incredible week. And we look forward to seeing you next Monday.
Thank you, everybody. Great to see you all today. Have a great week.
Thank you. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
everybody. Have a great one.